Okay, this is about what's going on in England, and it's about our cinnamon project, which is actually led by Saint John, King John, and his son, and that John is also a vicar, right? A Baptist vicar, right? So now uh, we're the Cinnamon Project, right? And we aim to look after women and youngsters that are being victimized on the streets of England, especially in the north by the Pakistanis and their sex grooming gangs that are targeting girls on the streets there. Right, so now our Cinnamon Project is the ambulance services and also the health services, and we're taking the girls that are on those streets and extracting them and into the Cinnamon Project. Right, so the Cinnamon Project is run by me. I'm Max. I'm a trained psychologist. I'm also a dietitian and biologist and a musician, and I teach music. Right, so now I'm franchising the Cinnamon Project all across the country, so other people can run their own Cinnamon Project and work with uh, mental health and ambulance staff to pick up girls from the streets that are victims of that are going to be victims and they are victimized and vulnerable to the Pakistani gangs in the north of England. So this is a wide area, including Manchester, Liverpool, Blackpool, all of the Burnley area, and Blackburn, and Birmingham too. All right, so this is a wide note for the ambulance services to take note and know that the girls out there are all under attack by sex grooming gangs, and they're also Category A prisoners, right? That are killing those girls. They have no respect whatsoever. All right, they're totally demented. They've lost the plot. They're living in the underground world, the necropolis where dead people live, the zombie world. Right, they keep away. They need to keep away from the girls, and if we don't put them in the Cinnamon Project, their fate is sealed. All right, they won't make it. All right, this is what Doom is. It's about killing all the beautiful girls. All right, so the Cinnamon Project is taking the girls into the Cinnamon Project and into a respite area where they can recover because they've been tortured in a 360. They're getting it from the schools, from the parenting, from the society, and from the streets, and then the Pakistani grooming gangs, and then the Category A prisoners, and then the care workers out there who are also Pakistani grooming gangs. Over and out. In an emergency where the Pakistani grooming gangs are also running the council and child protection services, stealing hundreds of kids every week, using their social workers, kids off their mothers, that they'll never see their kids again. Hundreds every week. This is going on in the UK, and the numbers are much bigger in America. All right, so the sex grooming gangs are just like off the scale, monstrous, should not be in our society. How it got into our council is because our ancestors didn't catch it, right? And now it's gone off like a mold, and it's gone off on overscale, right? Now so now there's a necessity for the ambulance services that are the head of the Cinnamon Project and the franchise system right across the country, where they can apply a 5 point care plan, which is the Cinnamon Project, which looks after teenagers, youngsters, and anybody that needs refuge, women in domestic abuse, for instance. We'll go find recluse, not recluse, but sorry, respite and rest time in one of our centres. And in Blackpool, we'll be taking over the Phoenix Centre and turning it into the Cinnamon Project. And it's a place where we house about 15 different people from different situations into a community, which is also the Phoenix Centre in Blackpool. And our team, we're looking to take that over quite soon. We're also a whole group of nurses and a lot more, and all the ambulance staff. So the ambulance services will be taking over the Phoenix Centre quite soon. In the meantime, we're the Cinnamon Project, and anyone can create their own Cinnamon Project and work to take the girls from the streets away from Pakistani grooming gangs. Okay, this is very important in the north. If they're not being groomed by the Pakistani grooming gangs, then they're getting attacked by their schools that are actually the same fucking group. And then the councils are also the same group teaching their parents to be like Pakistani grooming gangs and abuse their kids with violence, not sex, but sex violence. Right, that's abuse and neglect, and the worst type of abysmal behaviour only seen in ageism, where they also drink blood, eat sick, eat their own wee and poo. All right, they're disgusting. They put it in a bowl, mix it, and share it amongst themselves. We cannot be a part of that society. They're stolen our kids, and they're sharing that bowl. They're homosexuals. They're taking all the kids away, hundreds every week. So the Cinnamon Project is the first of its kind, and it's very much needed. And right there, we have the ambulance staff can make applications to join to apply applications for the Cinnamon Project and to put people in there for accommodation. We are providing accommodation, a kitchen, some chance to meet other people and be away from any kind of domestic abuse, abuse from the vulnerability that they might have, which they do in the north, especially around England, in fact, and all around America. So the Cinnamon Project and the ambulance staff are to look for signs of people, of girls, of good boys, young teenagers that need help, and the people, any if they have any signs of violence around them from the adult males that are looking after them, then those people and youngsters need to be taken like social services would do so, and put them into the Cinnamon Project, put them there by the ambulance staff to go and get them and take them and keep them safe, because the parenting system from the A group and the chicken shops and the dark Indian corner shops, they're trying to kill the British people. They're already proved to stealing hundreds of kids every week. This is a huge crime, a war crime, right? It's a war crime. I don't hear enough talk about this war crime. 100 kids every week. I mean, this is like the demolition of Gaza. It's the same bloody thing. Actually, it's these dark Indians. They are also Hamas, and they're the child protection services and these Pakistani grooming gangs. They hate women and the music world. Right? They are Pakistanis, and child protection services are led by Central Africa. They say kill the white man. Slavery is actually from Africa. Slavery is part of voodooism. Voodooism is kidnap, abandonment, torture, uh, 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 um, slavery, death, and cannibalism. That's what voodooism. It's nothing to do with white people. The councils and the schools are blaming the kids at the schools there. They're blaming them for the slave trade because they're British or white in America. Okay, so the slave trade is everything to do with African voodooism that's still around today, and it's cannibalism, right? So now the schools are are doing this voodooism, and they're taking the British kids and planning to destroy them. They've got no respect for them at all. People don't know what's going on behind the curtain at the schools. They're currently mocking the transsexuals, and we'll talk about that later. But the schools are inhumane and led by Africa, and they're mocking the transsexuals and chopping their penis off. That's what the Africans are doing right now. Voodooism. right? Now that's to voodooism to women, by the way. Don't forget, voodooism is actually off the scale homosexuality, sociopath, psychopathy. Those voodooists are sociopaths, all right, psychopaths, homosexual psychopaths. So they run in the schools homosexual psychopaths, and they specifically don't like the girls. Also, the boys are under attack, so we need the ambulance staff to pick them up and put them into the Cinnamon Project, which is also a schooling system, education, and a caring system. And they also, by recommendation of the head of the Cinnamon Project, all the youngsters of today's world need a rest. They've been tortured at our schools and they actually need a rest. All right, so this is a medical approach. I'm a medical person. Certainly, the schools are very unmedical. There's certainly no psychologists there, and they're actually very vile right there at the top in the school department. Right, so the Cinnamon Project is the first of its kind, and it aims to eradicate all the problems seen in the schools and parenting that leads to 9-year-olds now selling crack and heroin. All right, so this is a result of the schools and the councils and this group that are eating their own poo and wee wee, menstrual blood and sick all mixed up in a bowl, and they eat the fucking lot. All right, so they hate everyone, and especially they targeting the kids. So the Cinnamon Project is the first of its kind, and it's absolutely needed. Just like we need Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, Katie Hopkins, and Keir Starmer, and Rachel Reeves, Angela Rayner, we also need. Actually, all of Parliament, okay? Over and out. Thank you for listening.